Well, it happened. It's 7:30 a.m. I've just woken up and I've tried to log into my World of Warcraft second account, and I see that the account has been banned.
In a truly extraordinary development, Blizzard are now banning their most devoted World of Warcraft players simply for playing the game. So, recently, Warcraft YouTuber Erosium was banned by Blizzard. Now, Erosium, while a talented and creative veteran of World of Warcraft, is no more an exploiter or hacker than I am an aardvark. So, what happened here? Well, we don't know exactly, but as someone with an understanding of the dark side of WoW, I can hazard some fairly accurate guesses. You'll want to watch this video to avoid being banned yourself for doing nothing wrong. You see, this isn't the first time this has happened. I've heard of players doing marathon sessions, mostly gold farming, and being banned. We cannot know exactly how Blizzard decides to ban players. Such information would be a trade secret, and anyone at Blizzard who shared it would likely lose their job and possibly face further legal sanctions for breach of contract. However, in practice, we can reverse engineer Blizzard's policies on issuing bans by looking at how bans occur and using common sense. Also, if you want to figure out how someone would do something, a remarkably effective way to do that is consider how you yourself might approach a problem. This can allow you to understand all kinds of systems that aren't in the public domain. So, common sense would dictate that we would want to isolate behaviors that a bot has which are not present in humans. Automated play or botting is what Erosium is being accused of here. The first and foremost of these is playtime and or session time. Bots can play endlessly without error. That's kind of the point. Humans cannot. So it is very, very likely Blizzard have some kind of trigger where a player who plays more than N hours is considered likely to be worthy of investigation. Now, incredibly, in Erosium's case, and in other cases where gold farmers were banned who were not using exploits, that is the one metric that was used to ban the accounts. Erosium just played too much. While Erosium doesn't give us his exact playtime, I'm pretty certain he was putting in a ton of hours, because he was gearing his character up for twinking. That's the practice of a low-level character who locks their experience at a specific level and obtains the best possible gear at that level, making that character insanely powerful in appropriate level content. I've made an entire video on this subject, and there's a link in the description below if you want more details on this. But to cut a long story short, you essentially run Warlords of Draenor dungeons endlessly, hoping the very best twink gear will drop. It mostly doesn't. It takes ages. Now, what should then have happened is that Erosium's play would have triggered alarm bells at Blizzard. A human should then have investigated, saw nothing was wrong, and everyone should have got on with their lives. The fact that this did not happen is deeply disturbing. It suggests thousands or even tens of thousands of players may be banned from World of Warcraft for simply no reason. These players could then be denied access to accounts with years of progression on their characters. This week it was announced that after the Microsoft takeover, Blizzard had fired a bunch of people, so it is possible that a human did not intervene at any stage of this process. Some have suggested that Erosium was banned because of this. However, even a purely automated system should not have issued a ban, and in fact in most cases in WoW and other video games, there are other metrics taken into consideration. It would be something like this. You would have some kind of point count system where each of these factors would contribute a certain number of points based on how abnormal the behavior was, and if a certain score is exceeded, then a ban may be issued. If I were running the company, I would still have a human investigation, but neither Blizzard nor Microsoft seem to think that is necessary. This is not some amazing revelation or secret I'm giving away here. It is just what companies who employ people with medium intelligence levels do. The fact that Blizzard used one metric and one metric alone here is just insane to me. You are going to get so many false positives doing that. The consequences of this are horrible for players, but even worse for Blizzard and Microsoft. Just a few words about Erosium here. There are very few players in the game who would be a worse person for Blizzard to ban than Erosium. He has always been incredibly positive about WoW, even during the midpoint of Shadowlands, when literally almost every other WoW YouTuber was trashing or abandoning the game publicly. As a corporation, I would go to extraordinary lengths to cultivate it and encourage someone like that. Individual Warcraft YouTubers make basically no money. YouTube pays you almost nothing, a tiny fraction of minimum wage. Fortunately for me, I have very generous patrons, so I'm the exception to the rule, but I'm quite unusual. So most Warcraft YouTubers are basically doing it for the love of it. Yet the benefit to Blizzard is enormous. The type of publicity a channel like Erosium's gives Blizzard is absolutely priceless, as he's effectively providing players with new content, customer relations, and customer support. It's worth well over $100,000 a year, I would imagine. It is just astonishing to me that Blizzard could screw this up so badly and ban one of their greatest advocates. In the unlikely event anyone from Blizzard is watching this, I think you owe Erosium a personal apology. There's a reason there are so many Warcraft players like me who wouldn't piss on your corporation if it was on fire, and a lot of that is to do with the way we see how you treat your players.